So today I want to go through some data with you. I have had some conversations this week about selling houses, buying more rentals. What does next year look like? When is the best time to sell? When is the best time to buy? It's run the gambit this week with those seeking opportunities in real estate, and what does it look like? As we approach the end of the year. Now, most of the time at this time of the year, the sales market is very slow, and rentals tend to be slow as well. People don't want to move in the holidays, right? They don't want to move at Thanksgiving. They don't want to move during Christmas. From an owner standpoint, if you have rentals, you'll hear from us that we don't want you to have vacancy at this time of the year, which is very true. Rather have you vacancy in the summer when everybody wants to move and everybody is moving. It gives you a much better chance of finding somebody quicker. And again, we don't want to be moving people in and out of their properties at this time of the year because overall demand is not as strong, and it's not a good time to be seeking tenants. That being said, this year has been also a little different. Our rentals this month were much stronger than they've been in the past. Considering the last November of 2024, this was a much stronger rental market than we saw at that time, which may be an indication of something to come. So, what are we looking at from a numbers standpoint? Why are things important? And again, today I thought I'd bring in some data. This is Cromford Report. This is where we pull a lot of our, and arguably I think is one of the better resources for finding MLS market data. MLS being our multiple listing service as a realtor, we have access to it. I can pull reports from it, but they don't look this sexy. I mean, like they have it just dialed in on this site. We pay for it. I am showing you behind the scenes as to how I would look at this system to analyze all kinds. Look at all these things that we can pull over here, all kinds of data. And something that I wanted to pull today is just the analysis of annual appreciation. And this answers what does this market look like right now? And again, I've had a lot of conversations this year about appreciation. Because we've seen lower appreciation than years past, this has been a time for a lot of people to consider selling because, if you are counting on appreciation to help make the numbers work for the property to be a moneymaker for you, then appreciation did not help you out this year. And why is that? So let's look at, or how is that? Let's look at Phoenix. All right. So in Phoenix right now, we are at the end of the year. We're actually dipping into the zone of negatives. So depreciation here, which we haven't seen since, what is this, February of 2003. So February 2003, we saw a little bit of a depreciation. It's been appreciating ever since. The peak of that was what, eight and change percent in July of 2022 or 2024. So that was strong. And then appreciation has dipped since then. So summer of 2024, we saw the peak of appreciation here for a minute. And now we've seen it continuing to lose appreciation and now running into depreciation, which is less than zero. That's Phoenix. So let's see what other areas did, though, because this is just Phoenix. This is just houses in Phoenix. Each area has its own trends. And when I started looking at this, I found something pretty interesting. For a while, we had been looking at these fringe areas. We'd been looking at Maricopa, Queen Creek, Santan, Buckeye. Those areas were the fringe. And we saw that they really struggled to keep up with the market a year and a half ago, right? We were seeing that they were behind. They were not getting the looks that everywhere else was. And then all of a sudden, like, check this out. So let's do Queen Creek. Look at how it followed. And we saw it still in a stage of depreciation up until, look at this same time where it peaked up here. We see that it started hitting this level of appreciation, and it continued to appreciate until like November of 2024. And we saw increased appreciation. We saw a continual increase in appreciation up to about 7% at this stage right here, which is November of 2024. So looking at this gap and how this differs, these fringe areas, they all followed this trend. They all took a minute to catch up. And then they all followed this similar pattern to where we're seeing this consistency in creeping close to depreciation. Now, this is May of this year. So again, look at where we're at from the beginning of this year. January was right here. Phoenix was at 6.7%, right around there. And now it's dipped to less than zero. So, averaging out, I don't know, maybe 2.5%, 3% for the year. But again, this is an interesting stat because this shows this trend downwards. Now, some areas, let's remove Queen Creek and Santan. Let's throw Scottsdale in there. Look at Scottsdale. Scottsdale hasn't been depreciating in this entire life cycle. So this is November of 2023 through, or no, this looks 2023, 2024, 2025. So look at this here. So this is November of 2023, December of 2023, January of 2024. Right here in December was the closest that it was at 0.1 appreciation, and it soared up here to 8.7, and now it is still positive and it's trending in the right direction. Why is that? Because houses are bigger. People are spending more for those houses. There are new builds in that area that are attracting cash buyers and higher spending buyers, and they're still continuing to drive that market up. And I think these new builds are really supporting that. I don't have anything to support that. I'm just giving you what my thoughts are. Let's see. Paradise Valley, similar, hasn't seen a stage of depreciation yet. But I mean, look at these peaks and valleys. Look at these peaks. There's also a very small, so the amount of sales in a place like Paradise Valley or Scottsdale compared to Phoenix, it's harder to gauge. So you have these huge swings because of what's selling and when, and price per square foot, as this is based on price per square foot. So you might have had just an amazing property here that sells at 14% appreciation based on the price per square foot, and then all of a sudden you find this period of properties that are selling that investors are picking up to then put back on the market. I don't know. Maybe that's what then depresses this market a little bit. Actually, here, this is a huge drop off that we see every year in Paradise Valley. Look at the timing. It's May to June. So May to June, that's when they're taking their houses off the market. This one, does this support that? No, this one did the opposite. So again, I don't know. I'm not trying to make sense of Paradise Valley in this video for sure. Let's see. So with this information, like looking at this, that one just got me flustered because now I'm thinking through Paradise Valley and I'm thinking, wait, why the heck would those numbers look like that? Why would not? And I'm going to go down this rabbit hole after I finish this video because I'm going to come up with why those numbers are reading the way that they are. And I have a feeling that this plateau here has to do, look at, this is summer. So this is May through September. Like, look at that. It just plateaued in the summer, price per square foot. So this was a year that Paradise Valley did the same type of thing that the rest of the valley will sometimes do when it comes to who's buying and when. I don't know, but I'll look at it, and if you call me, I'll give you my report on why I think it's done that. Going into next year, I think that we are going to have a period of a lot of listings hitting the market. Right now, we have a ton of properties that are being taken off the market because they need to unseason. They need to season for 45 days on the MLS in order to get back to zero as a new listing. So when we want to get that listing back and renew it, we're going on the market to going canceling off market for 45 days in order to be able to go back on the market as a 0-day brand new listing. That can be helpful, especially when entering the new year. Right now, we're at traditionally a slow season. Beginning of January, we got Barrett-Jackson. The second week of the month, we've got the Phoenix Open. Third week of the month, and then fourth week of the month. So I mean, we've got these back-to-back huge opportunities for people that are coming into town to spend some money and buy some real estate, and we see that a big pickup at the beginning of the year, which also coincides with people here in town looking to buy properties. Those, especially, also those that are relocating to the area. Well, cool. I hope this information is helpful. Please let me know what else you'd like to know about the current market and how it can support you. Um, right now, for people who purchased their properties between 2002, the middle of 2022 to now, if you are looking for options to sell or to rent, it's a very, very interesting conversation, and really exploring what those numbers are before pulling the trigger is exceptionally important. Um, there are a if someone is giving you information that's unwilling to do the work, for example, someone is telling you what the rents should be on a particular property. Either you're buying an investment property, or you're selling one, or you're thinking of maybe renting it out instead of selling. Get numbers from someone who's going to manage it so you can get the real scoop. Because even in this last week, I've had two people that I've talked to. One of them, he was listed at $3,200 on the market for 90 days. He called me. It's a friend of mine, said, Ed, what the heck's going on with this property? This is what we were getting on it. It's an 1850 rental. Like, tell me that isn't a gut punch. But it was basically purchased in a investment package, call it. And now they're going off of what old rents were. So when you're exploring those opportunities, make sure you're vetting the rents and really making sure that those rents are accurate for the current market. We've seen rents decreasing this year. Most people would never guess that, and that's a very real thing. So hope that's helpful. Have a great one, and I'll talk to you again soon.